Something that's recently been coming up in my feed a ton on like everything, a bunch of articles on it all over Google and stuff, is with some salmonella outbreaks with different types of turtles. Now, salmonella is not a very new thing. I think pretty much everyone is aware that turtles often give people salmonella, not as often as they think, but it is true that they will carry it more often than other reptiles and other animals in general. So are people panicking about this too much? Or are they not concerned enough? I want to kind of talk about what I thought about it and how people are handling the issue. So pet turtles are very common to buy. They're so cheap. A lot of times they're free. In fact, because red ear sliders are invasive in my state, they're illegal to sell but free to give away. So at every expo I go to, there's always just tons of free red ear sliders because, I don't know, I guess they're so easy to breed. I don't know why people keep breeding them. It would be nice if they kind of slowed down. But even if they aren't free, you can find them for like a couple dollars at every pet store, or you can find them from vendors whether they are or aren't illegal, which you've probably seen in another video. So firstly, I already actually did a video on salmonella and just how dangerous it is in turtles, but we can talk more about what's kind of happening more recently. So again, some numbers. There's about 40,000 estimated cases of salmonella from reptiles each year, not just turtles, but all animals. Which, by the way, no offense turtles, but I'm kind of glad you're the main focus with salmonella. Like if it were snakes or something, everyone would just freak out and want every snake to be illegal. Luckily, pretty much everyone loves turtles, so they get a bit more slack on it because people like them so much. Or at least that's my opinion on it. But there's an estimated 40,000 cases per year. You can't really know for sure because a lot of people just get it and get over it themselves. Now, 40,000 might sound like a lot, which yes, it's unfortunate that those many people get it, but each year there are about 1 million cases of salmonella from food. So there is by far a much higher chance getting it from food, so I don't want this to deter you from reptiles or anything, because although the risk is there, it's really not that high. So with these new updates on the outbreaks, it's happened over 13 states. There's been 37 cases across the states from March 1st to the start of August. So over a 5-month period, there have been 37 recorded cases. That really doesn't sound like much, and that's because it isn't really. But I think where the main problem comes in is how many of those people have been hospitalized. So with salmonella from food, there's about 19,000 people hospitalized per year, and about 300 or 400 of them die each year, unfortunately. But the thing is, almost half of the salmonella cases over the past 5 months with reptiles have hospitalized people. The main demographics of people that are getting this are the people that are usually more vulnerable to illnesses anyway. That being people 5 and under, people being old, like 65 and under, and then in addition to this, people that are already sick or that might be pregnant, that already have weaker immune systems usually get stuff like this more often. So I think it was 12 of these 37 cases are kids 5 and under, which the reason that's really important is because turtles are kind of that thing that everyone gets their kids, and fortunately, like, people don't realize how big they get. Frankly, it's not even that big. And people don't realize just how much space they need and how much care they're gonna need. Now I have Franklin down and I have this little turtle right here. She's no more than 3 or 4 inches long. Now luckily there's already a regulation put in place where it's illegal in the US to sell a turtle under 4 inches for 2 main reasons. Firstly, because the tinier turtles usually have a higher chance of giving other people salmonella. And secondly, because they're bite size. It's a lot easier for kids to just come across and put them in their mouth and very easily spread that salmonella. So like I said, I talked about this in another video, but this is an illness that's really not that difficult to get rid of, or not get rid of, but difficult to avoid. Really just staying clean, not touching your face like I did when I just scratched that itch, and then washing your hands after you handle the animals. But it's very easy to just go like grab your turtle, hang out with your pet turtle, touch its enclosure, and then touch your face, rub your eyes or whatever. So I don't think I've ever had salmonella. But like I said, this is most often happening in very little kids, which is why people are concerned. Now, the most recent death from a reptile-related salmonella case that I could find was actually a decade ago, and it was a 1-month-old baby that got it from a small turtle. So I'm definitely not arguing with that regulation. I think it's really good, and I don't think any new regulations really need to be put in place. Really, the issue is some people overreact and some people don't quite do enough. There's the ones that go out, just buy a turtle, don't really look much up on it. Yeah, it's probably easier than a puppy, easier for my kid to hang out with, just feed it every so often, stick it in a little tank. And then there's people that are like completely paranoid about salmonella in turtles and think no one should have them, and like they should just be completely illegal and not kept. I think we need to be somewhere in the middle. People need to be more aware of the dangers, but just simply understand how to avoid them. But what I am going to say is just don't get your kids turtles, especially if they're really little, because although they really aren't that dangerous, people are just irresponsible about them. I think your kid needs to be at least mature or responsible enough to be able to do their own research on the animal before they can actually get it, so they know what to expect and how to keep themselves safe, how to keep the animal safe, and how to keep anyone in the family or just at their school or work or wherever safe if they end up spreading those salmonella related germs. So I just thought I would bring this up. Anyone that might come across this video that's concerned about it or thinking of getting turtles, you just need to be somewhere in the middle. Turtles are fine as pets. Make sure you get them legally as pets. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of turtles. I think every single reptile expo I've been to, I've seen at least a few turtles being sold illegally. I don't know why the expos are so bad about letting that through, but I guess they have a lot to deal with and a lot of booths attending that can easily just kind of slip different species into sell. So if you're thinking of getting a turtle, make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Make sure you don't eat them and don't eat with them as much as you might want to share a meal. And like I said, of course you don't want any cases of this, but it's really not as common as you think. But I completely understand why people are getting more worried now that there's been a lot more hospitalizations than usual. Is hospitalizations a word? So that's something you want to avoid, but something to make sure you don't completely just cut out. And we can deal with the situation without panicking, like a lot of these articles like to entice, which I know it's just to get some extra clicks on them. But that'll be it. Let me know what you've heard about the different cases. Let me know what I missed, what else there is on the topic, and your opinions on everything. So that'll be it for this video. I'm Alex, and thanks for watching.